which he has done double post-graduation in personal management and IR and human resource management. He is also a law graduate with specialization in company law and labor law. He is also qualified and certified practitioner for neuro-linguistic programming for managerial effectiveness accredited to the World NLP Institute, Florida, USA. Dr. Nandi brings with him expertise in several areas of management. With more than 30 years of industry experience, he has multifunctional professional experience spread across the organizational activities, but more particularly in HRD, admin, IR and legal, quality, IT administration, business development strategy, corporate affairs. He is currently headed Tilak Nagar Industries Limited as a director. He is also director on board of Bahrain Limited, Prague Limited, Hyderabad, and Kesarwal Springs Limited, Goa and Punjab Expo Limited. He has been part of organizations such as Bharatiya Reserve Bank Note Mudra Limited, Reserve Bank of India as assistant manager and manager. He has also been worked with Government of Orissa, that is Orissa Administrative Services, as Deputy Collector and Executive Magistrate. He has also served Utkal University as lecturer in English. He has been facilitated by different bodies and institutions. He received commendations and awards, including the prestigious Quality Culture Award at the World Quality Congress, New Delhi in December 2002. He has also empaneled as National Resource Person on Quality by the Quality Institute of India, New Delhi. His works of quality excellence through innovative and agile practices. Let's give a big hand to Mr. Dr. Nandi.
Thanks a lot to Supriya for saying such nice words about me, most of which I do not hear. And thank you very much, Prashanji, for inviting me for this session. And this session, let me tell you friends, has been very popular in the industry circles, to this extent that I get quite a few number of invitations during the weekend, because on other days being very busy with corporate activities, I do not get time, mostly on Saturdays. Like last Saturday I was in Delhi for such exactly this program by Confederation of Indian Industry. And why all this attention that has happened to this particular subject, and why you people have taken interest into discussing about it. And I find many of you are quite senior. So I'll be interested if you make it a very, very interactive one. And I find there are quite promising youngsters also, on whom a lot of hope and trust we built. And I'll also interact with them. Having said that, I would just like to give it a beginning thought, like all of you should be knowing that what was the biggest game changer to Indian economy and Indian management? Anybody who has any idea? What was the, sorry?
Liberalization.
Oh, very good. Your name is?
Shefali.
Shivani.
Shefali.
Right. So Shefali is absolutely right, and I am happy that it very promptly came from her. Yes, the biggest game changer has been globalization, and that has redefined many areas of functioning in the corporates. And why it has become the biggest game changer? Yes, Shefali?
Because you sort of have world-class systems, policies coming into the country, you have world-class products coming. So the Indian customer has got used to.
How they came? What was the problem earlier that they are not able to come?
Yeah. So earlier, what was the problem was it was a license Raj where you could only get a license and then only come in the country. You could have a lot of restrictions to come in the country.
What do you mean by restrictions?
Restrictions mean a lot of, hindrances by the government that you can only invest so much. This is the total amount of investment that you
Yeah,
can
I'll take it from her. See, and the biggest hindrance. Anybody? What is the biggest hindrance? She's absolutely right when she says, hindrance. The biggest hindrance was what? Was the thought process. Like after independence, our founding fathers, they thought, they do Indians, we are snake charmers, we are poor, we are illiterate. So if we open the market, rightly they should have, along with independence, and we got freedom. But they said if we open the market, we will be devoured by the competitors from across the globe. We will be devoured. And that is why, to give protection to the domestic industry, what they did was, they increased the customs duty to an, there is the biggest hindrance about it, that they increased the customs duty to a ludicrously higher level of 950%, 1000% like that. So what is the impact? Anything that you import, that will become so pricey that you will not be able to buy it. I'll give an example like my friend with whom just I was interacting, say Maulik. Okay, so Maulik is suppose he has a very steady girlfriend, he should be having, and he has gone to London, and there his girlfriend is asking, how much you love me? Now I love you more than my life. Now is it that? Now yes. Now then why did you buy this Porsche car for me? A small cute car. He said, I'll buy it. Then he goes to check up the price in pound sterling, and he converts to Indian rupee like all of us we do when we travel abroad. So he converted. Then he found it is just about 5 lakhs. He says, I'll buy it for you, no problem. My father has a lot of money, I am working, so no issue. But the story begins there. The moment he goes to Export-Import Directorate, he finds the landed cost of the car in India will be 20 lakhs. After this customs duty, as I said, the biggest hindrance is Shefali rightly pointed out. So then this fellow got a shock of his life. And he comes and falls at the feet of his girlfriend, Meri mom, mere ko chhod de. I cannot buy it for you. It is so costly, I never thought. But I will buy you a car. So they come back to India after landing in Bombay or Delhi. He goes and buys one ambassador car for her. So what is ambassador? Ambassador means slightly more reliable than a bullock cart. And that is what he got for her. Right? And because of this, when you elbow out all competition, you always get third-rate stuff. And I need not give you examples. There are hundreds and hundreds of third-rate things we produced, and they were consumed by the domestic industry only. Because such third-rate stuffs you cannot export. Even a beggarly country like Bangladesh or Nepal, they refuse to import anything from us. And when you do not export anything, then who cries? Who cries? It is Reserve Bank which cries, because it does not get foreign exchange. Foreign exchange comes only when you export, obviously. Then how do you run the economy? Because most of the things we import, you have to pay by dollar, including 80% fuel, including aeroplanes, armaments, aircraft, everything. All these are manufactured in dollar or a foreign currency, whatever. But never they are manufactured in rupee. So you need foreign exchange, which we did not have. And those days I was in RBI, working in RBI, reporting directly to Dr. Manmohan Singh through my boss, of course. My boss was the head of foreign exchange, but he needed always me, so I will be sitting behind him and giving him papers when we will discuss with Dr. Singh. Right? And that time, every day in the morning, the moment Dr. Singh enters RBI, he will say, "Aaj ka kya position hai? Kitna reserve hai?" Okay? And like this, the countdown came to a stage where it came to grinding halt. We had just about 7 days of foreign exchange left with us. Then we threw up his hands. Okay, now we have to go to IMF. I'm making it very brief because all of you know this. So that we have to go to IMF because IMF is the only multilateral agency which lends in foreign exchange. So we went to IMF and IMF behaved like the village moneylender. IMF said that you are a rotten economy. Your growth rate for the last 45 years, 40 years has never gone above 3%, which very contemptuously has been branded by Professor Mohanlal, the famous economist from Pune, as Hindu rate of growth. So your growth rate is 3%. And how are you going to repay this loan? Unless you change your economic policy. Okay? And a beggar is not a chooser, obviously. The beggar comes and tells Sepali gives some vada pav, and he will say, no, I only take mutton biryani. Okay? So then what she will do? She will just throw him away. The same thing happened. We did not have any choice. We signed on dotted line, and the first point out of the 12 points, they insisted that we change our economy. The first point was opening of the market. And that is what is globalization. Okay? That is what we call globalization. But I say this because, friends, now most of the people, including my son, he refused to believe that globalization is something which was imposed on us. We had no choice. Beggar was not a chooser. Because he believed that we are very smart, we Indians. We opted for globalization. It was not so. After signing it, when we came back, Dr. Singh, he addressed RBI officers. I was there. So many of them, they asked, sir, there was huge opposition for us signing this agreement with IMF. Many people, they say, you have traded off Indian interest. We are doing another East India company. What do you have to say? So he smiled and he said, I will not say anything, I will just tell you a story. Very brief. So he said, there was a king who was very fond of crocodiles. And so he reared up crocodiles, being brought from all corners of the world. Then when the crocodiles became tagda, then he dropped the bombshell. Bombshell is this, that any young man from my kingdom who can swim across this lake, reach the other side hell and hearty, I declare him the bravest person in my kingdom, and I'll give him half of the kingdom, and he will marry my very beautiful daughter also. So it was a very big temptation for all young men like Maulik, I don't know some of your names also. So only Maulik has been, you are quite young. Your good name please? Anirudh. Yeah, many, young men like Anirudh and Maulik, they will go near the lake, look at the beautiful girl standing in the palace balcony, get very, very excited, and they will try to jump. That time the crocodile is saying, ah. Then immediately Maulik says, my life is more precious. If I am eaten away by this crocodile, what is left there? Right? So all of them will come back. Like the 6 months passed. Okay? So who was under tension? 6 months passed, nobody was jumping. Who was worried, sir? King. Huh? The king. King. Any other? King. Sir, your good name please?
Himal.
Huh?
Himal.
Himal. You are very unromantic person. Why king should be worried?
Must be the girl.
Very good. Your good name, sir? Madhukar. Madhukar is the most romantic person in this class. Because he gave the right answer. The girl was worried because nobody was jumping for the last 6 months. Poor girl was thinking possibly she will end up being a spinster. Okay? So her stakes were very high. So she was praying to all 33 crore gods and goddesses, somebody should jump. And one day there was a third sound and they found that Maulik has jumped. And he fought with the crocodiles and he reached the other side, injured, bled and all that, but he reached the other side. The king came with a marigold garland and said, my worthy son-in-law. So who was the happiest now? Madhukarji? Obviously. The girl was happy because बोला कि जो भी है से मौलिक हो जो भी हो कोई तो मिला मेरे को अभी because she was very desperate. Now when the mic was given to Maulik, felicitation function was there, then everybody started speaking in favor of Maulik, very brave, this and that. When the mic was given, he said that before I say anything, please tell me who pushed me to the pond. Okay. So Mowgli had not jumped. Somebody is pushed him to the pond. कि रोज आके तमाशा दिखा रहे, jump नहीं कर रहा है, चलो आज तेरे को देता हूँ. Somebody is pushed. Maybe his friend is pushed. Okay. So Dr. Singh said it is just like this. That we have been pushed to the pond of globalization. So never ever in your life say that we Indian economists are so smart that you blew the whistle and globalization came. Nothing like that. But he had said another thing, that like Maulik, who fought with the crocodile very hard and reached the other side, I have this much faith on my countrymen that they will also fight the crocodile. Which crocodile? Competition. Once you open the market, 1,25,00,000 लोग, इतना बड़ा मार्केट तो किधर है ही नहीं, चाइना को छोड़ के. So naturally competitors will rush. So these crocodiles, they are symbols for the competitors. That like he fought and he won. We Indians also, we give out our best only when we are challenged. If we are not challenged, then खाके पीके आराम से सो जाते हैं. So now with competition they will be challenged, they will come out with their best and they will beat everybody. And he had exactly used this word, that we Indians are born to rule. We are born to rule this universe. And believe me, when he was telling this, we are laughing to those who are attending, because we are thinking this is another Sardarji joke. Because those days, our growth rate was still at 3%, and you open the newspaper, you will find in some corner of the country somebody is selling his wife for food, somebody is selling his children for food, somebody is selling his kidney, and this Sardarji is telling we are born to rule and the whole world will be at our feet. Who will believe it? That is how he is one of the greatest visionaries of modern India. He had foreseen this. Now when we are celebrating it every day, there only our growth rate is 7.75, whereas the growth rate of all big economies is hovering around 2 to 3, and China at 6%, much lower than us. We are celebrating, we are top of the world now, and we have put the whole world at our feet, and this is what he had predicted. Okay. Now, tell me, what do you understand by competition? What happens when there is a competition? Can I have something to write? So what happens when there is competition? Tell me.
Fight for survival.
Fight for?
Survival.
Yes. Any other
We
response?
grow.
Sorry.
We grow.
We
Grow.
grow.
Customer is the happiest person.
We challenge ourselves.
We challenge ourselves. What else?
The best comes out from the group.
Best comes out. There are no response from this side. Yes? Growth, yeah. But immediately what happens? If there is a competition, what happens immediately?
Price falls. Price of the product falls.
Quality of the product.
It goes up. Yeah, that is one part. That is one part. But the first point nobody has said, that is search for cutting edge. Once there is competition, there will be search for cutting edge. Okay? I'll give a very, since all of you are quite, intelligent, very senior and all that, I can tell you. Suppose I am a girl. For the purpose of this class, my name is Nandi, you can call me Nandini. And if I have to make a choice, obviously, if I was a girl, I must have been very beautiful. Hai na, Madhukarji? Yeah, I must have been. So a lot of boys, including Maulik and Madhukar and all that, they are very, they want to woo me. Now tell me, there is a competition here. Because I am not as lucky as Draupadi that I can marry 7 or 8. No. I will marry only one, either Madhukar, nahi to Maulik. Nahi to you, sorry, I forgot. Anirudh, he is quite handsome also, right? Now, suppose Anirudh has come in the morning to Patao me in a Honda City car with suit and boot. And this has come to the knowledge of Maulik. Do you think in the afternoon Maulik will come in Honda City? He will not come. He will not come suited booted. He will come tie by लगा के पूरा एकदम टिप टप होके. He will come by Mercedes. Bag borrow, still he will come by Mercedes. Because there is a competition. And Maulik is searching for the cutting edge over him. And he finds that the cutting edge comes through this. And then of course I decide in favor of Maulik. अरे मेरे को Mercedes में घुमाएगा यार, मस्ती है. Right? Now the second point that Madhukarji said, the quality goes up. I will not say quality. We being management students, we will not get into that area now. We will call it benchmark. The benchmark will go up. I'll give you again another example. When I was a student, my father used to send money to the bank account. I'll go to the bank to draw even 200 rupees for the mess bill. I'll go there, and the moment I go to the bank, the teller will give me, I'll give the check, he will give me a token. Suppose token number is 25. And I'm sitting there waiting, and he will say, और पान खाते खाते मेरे को बोलेंगे, अरे बेटा क्यों बैठा है इधर, तेरा टोकन नंबर तो 25 है, तेरा टर्न आते आते तो 1 घंटा लगेगा, जाके पढ़ाई लिखाई कर, नहीं तो पढ़ाई लिखाई नहीं करना है तो जाके सिगरेट बीड़ी पी, मगर इधर क्यों बैठा है? I'll come after 1 hour, then that time for 200 rupees he will give me, take token and he will pay. So it used to take not less than 1 hour to draw 200 rupees. And only when the foreign banks started coming and there was a huge competition, what happened? Now how much time you need, sir, to draw 100 rupees from the ATM? Maybe 10 seconds. So this 1 hour has become 10 seconds or 20 seconds. This is the impact of competition, this is the benchmarking. So once there is competition, once there is search for cutting edge, the benchmark will go up. Like one of my friends who was working as HR manager those days in Agfa company. Agfa, you remember? Yeah, photo film they are doing a camera. Agfa camera. One day he tells, अरे तेरे को पता है, my company is expanding huge. We are spending nearly 50 crore, and we are getting one silver-plated roll now. जिसका एकदम picture crisp आएगा, देखोगे तो. And I am getting a promotion and a hike. Then after just a month, he comes and tells, my company is getting closed, my factory is getting closed. So what to do? I said, why? Now we never thought. We thought that mobile phone. Mobile is what? Sir, आपका mobile is no. This mobile was for what? It was for communication only. Please remember. In the initial days, mobile was for communication.
Very expensive.
Yes. Then suddenly what happened? Somebody somewhere thought that why not add some feature to it, like somebody must have felt bad, or feeling very, disappointed waiting in the station for the local train to come. उसमें हम रेडियो डाल देते हैं, टाइम पास होगा. Then somebody else thought, please remember, I am coming to that. Whosoever has thought, they are all men. How men drives growth, I will be telling you about that. Then we will come to performance. Somebody thought that अरे कितना अच्छा फोटोग्राफ भी आ रहा है, ले सकते हैं. Something somewhere, some romantic thing is happening. I can possibly take a snap. तो इसमें कैमरा डालो, उसके बाद ब्लूटूथ डालो, व्हाइट टूथ डालो, इंटरनेट डालो. ओके, ये जो डालो एक के बाद एक डालो, this thing has come from the creativity and innovation of man. Machine, this machine never thought that please put FM in me, please put camera in me. So my friend was telling that we never thought that such an innocent instrument which is meant for communication can be such a big threat for my industry. Now the camera industry is getting close, tell me what to do. Right? So this is how, in any competitive scenario, The first is search for cutting. First is search for cutting edge. Then the benchmark will go up. Right? And the benchmark will go up, up and up. Piggybacking on innovation and creativity. Okay. So now, even the other day, very humorous thing. Like I was traveling by Air India, then I found one lady, one auntie, she was smiling at me. Then I thought something is either wrong with her or with me. So I just asked her, what makes you smile? She said, see, it is not exactly meant for you. What has happened is we have been told by our management now that you should always smile. You should always smile because Air India air hostesses were not smiling earlier. Okay, they are only frowning earlier. You must be knowing when there was no competition. I am coming to the point. All my examples are just ultimately driving at that. Say when there was no competition, they used to frown. All of you, and I was also a party to that. They will be like that. Now, what makes them smile? Do you think there is a change of heart in them? No. The competition has made them smile. This is what is the benchmark. Somebody who was not smiling earlier, somebody who was frowning earlier, is now smiling. And very jokingly, she told me also, साहब क्या करें? अभी हमारे मैनेजमेंट भी बोल दिया ये सब देखो जेट एयरवेज नहीं तो इंडिगो में इतने सब छोटे छोटे लड़की सब क्या क्या ड्रेस पहन के आते हैं, सब कस्टमर का दिल हिला देते हैं. तो हमको भी बोला गया है आप लोग भी थोड़ा हंसो, हंस के दिल हिलाने का कस्टमर का कोशिश तो करो. वही कोशिश मैं कर रही थी सर. राइट. सो द बेस्ट comes in you only with competition, and it is an unending exercise, because as you know, in the race for excellence there is no finishing line. It goes like that. Yes. So as Shefali pointed out that the most important thing happened after globalization. We have talked about globalization, how it came and all that, is competition. Okay. So when competition started happening, then as I said, the first step is search for cutting edge. Okay? For the two corporates who are in the fight, in competition, how the search for cutting edge will happen? Can you tell me what are the resources a company has? Like I am in competition with her, Shefali. My company is XYZ, her company is ABC. And I want to beat her. How do I beat her? I can only beat by developing cutting edge, and for that a very clear-cut comparison of my strength and weakness has to happen. So what are the resources? Tell me, what are the resources?
Technology, infrastructure.
Good. See, if anybody who is accountancy background here, फिर भी तो आपको पता होगा ना. You tell me. See, क्या होता है? We take land, plant, building, capital. Okay. These are the in any. Correct or not? Yes. So if I have to compete with her company, my company has to compete. Search for cutting edge मेरे को किधर से मिलेगा? Because if she has land, I have also land. So it squares up. If she has plant, best plant in the world, I can also buy the best plant in the world, because post globalization there is no restriction on import of technology. So I have money. So best plant, ये भी खत्म हो गया, land खत्म हो गया, plant खत्म हो गया, building को अच्छा building बनाई तो my building can be better than that. So ये भी खत्म हो गया, capital भी, I also have a lot of money. Market भी आप देखेंगे तो we are operating in the same market. Okay. इसमें भी कोई cutting edge नहीं है. So how do I succeed vis-a-vis her? Cutting edge में किधर से लाऊंगा?
Latest technology.
नहीं, technology is the best technology I have worked about. If he has the best technology, I have best technology. So it squares out.
Main.
Yes. So HR is the only area, only resources based on which I have to drive my growth strategy, based on which I can actually get cutting edge over her. Because all others are squaring off. उसके पास जो है मेरे पास भी है, मेरे पास जो है उसके पास भी है, उसको लेके मैं कुछ नहीं कर पाऊंगा. So, sorry.
Service.
Yeah, service also has to be extended by man. When I say man or manifestations of man, I'll talk about that. Yeah. So this is a very important point which Narayan Murthy raised. He said that I don't agree with this definition of assets and resources as defined by a chartered accountant. I do not accept this balance sheet. I don't accept this balance sheet. He said, because then he asked, he posed the counter question that you tell me, you people are telling my company's worth is say 50,000 crores. If you are taking assets like this, okay, then the cost of my land, building, etc., because I don't have any technology, nothing like except for some computers. So if you take the valuation, make the valuation of land, plant, building, etc., I should not be more than 5,000 crore company. So 50,000 crore minus 5,000 crore, 45,000 crore comes from what? Then he said, the moment my software engineers, they enter at 9 o'clock my premises, I become a 50,000 crore company. And the moment they leave at 7 o'clock, I become a 5,000 crore company. Are you going to accept this logic? Then the chartered accountant smiled. Yes, sir, you are very right, but what to do? We do not have this concept of human resource valuation. But the fact remains that 50,000 minus 5,000, 45,000 crore is coming from the toolbox that you carry in your head. The software engineers, they carry in their head. So how to evaluate this toolbox? How to make a valuation of this toolbox? That remained the biggest challenge for all the HR professionals. How do you do it? We are attempting to do it now. We are attempting to do it in human resource accounting, though not with great success. It is a very big challenge for all of you, for all of us actually, as to how to do it. So one thing is very clear, that the cutting edge will come from HR, and this got manifested into performance. Okay? This got manifested into performance, that if this is the strategic slant, then performance is the strategic slant. Okay? Based on which we can win the war. And when this realization took place, then people started coming out with different modes of performance engineering, and slowly performance management system, it came to occupy the center stage. Okay? Now what is performance? Because it's a very fluid area, but what is your understanding of performance?
The ability to do something better.
Yeah, your ability to do something better. If you take her answer that your ability to do something better, you will agree that it is a very subjective thing that she is telling.
The ability to add value to the company.
Yes, ability to add value to the company. But how do you measure it? Please remember, anything which cannot be measured cannot be improved. I agree with you that performance is the most important thing, but how do you measure performance? Just saying that he is a good worker, he is a bad worker, it means nothing. The moment I ask you the question, suppose Shefali says he is a good worker, I will say, really so? She has no answer.
You have to set targets.
Targets, yes. That is how we are coming to the important area. That is how there was a need to standardize performance,
to put it into quantitative parameters. And believe me, it happened with actually the US Army. What they did was, they were trying to buy horses. गड़बड़ उधर से ही शुरू हुआ, because they will have to replace the horses who are not running faster, right? Then once the horse gets attached to you, like the horse died in Uttarakhand, so many people will cry this and that, okay? Because you get attached to an animal. And many of the soldiers, they said, no, my horse is the best. Even if it is running faster, it has so many other attributes because of which I will not allow it to be sent to the slaughterhouse. Most of the, once they are out, then they will be sent. So then the question arose that there is a need to put out some basic parameters with which the performance of a horse will be judged. Of course, how much it can run, that is one of the most important parameters. But there are other parameters also they added. Then one of the army brigadiers, when he was going through it, he said, this works so well, this system. Why can't we introduce it for man? Why can't we introduce it for our soldiers themselves? And that is how it came to the organization slowly, that there is a need to standardize performance, and then this performance management system, it started. So many, it has two parts, like she has already pointed out. The most important part here is, the attribute-based performance management system, which most of the organizations they have, which is based on your honesty, integrity, this, that, you give certain rating to that, and then finally you add up and then you rate somebody as A, B, C, D. Right? Then they found out that this system is not a dynamic system. It is not able to cope up with the incisive competition that is taking place now. It is a slightly dynamic and non-dynamic and lethargic system. Wherefore 1 year you have to wait, and these values cannot be quantified. Okay? So then they found out that let this be there, this attribute-based performance management system, let it be there, which talks about somebody's overall personality, somebody's growth as leader, and let it be there. But we should come out with KRA-based performance management system. So, what is KRA-based performance management system? That pick up such performance areas which can be directly quantified and linked to the balance sheet. Okay? This much value addition, like she was mentioning now. How much value addition somebody is doing. Okay? The other day, in our board meeting, one of the directors, he called the HR head and he said, Dekho, I don't know if it is happening in your company, you can also share with me so that I can also learn something. See, he said, Dekho, you are giving so much of a huge salary to the sales head. Okay? Tell me that he is contributing that much to the company. I am giving you 1 hour time, please prepare a presentation and tell me that if you are paying 10 lakh rupees to the sales head per month, then is he contributing 10 lakhs to you? You being HR, you have to answer this question, not subjectively, objectively, on the basis of facts and figures. I will not accept anything other than facts and figures. How do you calculate? Then can be, this question of return on hire, whether somebody is contributing that much or not. That is the issue. Then the HR head said, sir, how to do it? She was looking at me in the meeting. She said, what to do? How do we calculate? Because we have never been taught this in any of the business schools, so I will study. Return on hire is never taught. How do you do it? Then actually we sat down and I guided her and she prepared one. Okay? That is how to calculate the contribution from the KRAs. So friends, KRA has become the most dynamic part of the performance management system. Many times we say you get your salary out of the attribute-based performance management system. Okay, But what you get from KRA based rating system is your variable salary, which is given to you for making you run. So the other part contributes to your growth as a leader, but this one is a dynamic one. It is the evaluation mostly made either half-yearly or annually, and this is a part of the system, performance management system, dynamic part, because it is linked. It makes you run. How it makes you run? Because this 20% variable salary is linked to your percentage realization of KRA. Okay, and it gives a lot of self-respect to you, because you must have seen in most of the companies they will ask, तेरे को कितना variable मिला, तेरे को कितना मिला, जिसको कम मिला बेचारा दुखी हो जाता है. So there is also a very big competition to improve your variable salary, and that variable salary can be improved only through higher percentage realization of KRA. So KRA has come to occupy a very important step in the performance management system. In the middle, there was a problem when many of the companies introduced bell curve system. So whatever is achievement, they will say no, departmental allocation is there. This much I can give, this much I cannot give. But it had its side effect. There was a backlash, because of which Mr. Sikka of Infosys, he on the first person said nothing doing. If KRA says this much percentage somebody should get, he has to get that. I don't believe in bell curve. So he scrapped bell curve, and now most of the companies they have scrapped. So KRA has again come to the center stage. My request to all of you will be, because I have seen it myself, I have gone through it, that you must be an expert in KRA if you want to be in the mainstream. Because over the years, HR has lost most of its functions. There are very few companies now who are putting people for training or recruitment, because both these functions are being outsourced to some roadside company who pay very small salary to HR guys. Whenever I go to address some of the seminars in the colleges and all that, they will say, sir, I have joined this roadside company for recruitment and all that, he is giving me 10,000. Okay? Because most of the companies, to economize cost cutting, they first attack HR. And then these are the activities they will take away. Because it is believed that in the present system of CTC, most of the companies, they believe that why should I spend money on somebody's training? He should train himself. You train yourself with the latest skill and come and sell your skill to me. I am prepared to buy you. I am prepared to buy you, but don't ask me to invest in your value addition, because I am sure the day I allow you to do a competency mapping training or assessment center with XLRI by spending 1 lakh, next day you will upgrade your CV in Naukri and Monster.com. Next day, they don't wait for 1 day also. They will upgrade and they will get an offer and they will say, bye bye, thank you sir, I love you very much, but what to do sir, life, I have to move on with life. And you will smile, I will smile. That is how. This story is so often repeated in the corporate circle that people have said that आपको जो पढ़ना है पढ़ो, जो training लेना है लो, but come to me with like a ready-made cake. I am prepared to pay you higher salary and buy, but don't put me to this role of developing you in training and then finally you will ditch me. This is 100% that you are going to ditch me after 6 months or 1 year and you will go. Because in the same company, if you are rated A, even A, no company gives more than 15 to 20% hike. But the moment you change a job, you get 30 to 40% hike. So nowadays, boys like Mohlik and all that, they are very smart. They say, okay, why should I rot here for 15%? If I am good enough for everybody. I'll sell myself to the highest bidder in the market. And he goes. So what do I gain? I am left high and dry. Only he sent some occasional mail, sir, how are you, sir, I am so grateful to you, mentored me, you trained me, I am so lucky. Same thing with recruitment also. So, this is an area which has come to HR. I'll request all of you to grab it and become full master. Not like my HR person who says, sir, हमको तो management school में पढ़ाया नहीं है. How do I know how to calculate return on hire? It is not necessary. You can always, there has to be a self-managed learning program, and believe me, it is possible once you know how KRA is quantified, how KRA is fixed. Like most of you always try to mix up the job description with KRA, and ultimately you don't land anywhere. We'll be discussing in detail about that. I'll be doing some hands-on also. Right. Similarly, CSR, many of the top corporate people, they have decided to bring HR to HR, because we have seen that tragedy that most of the functions are going from HR, and I have moved up from HR background. I was just sharing with somebody when I was doing my course in one of the classes those days. Ajim Premji, you know, he was having factory in Pune only. He had not met Infosys, so he was one guest speaker like me. So he asked, Acha, before I say anything in this class, please tell me how many of you, what you want to be? And all of them, because from in HR class, somebody said, I want to become VP HR, somebody said, I want to become HR head, somebody said, I want to become GM, somebody said, I would like to become AVP and all that. Myself and another person only, we said that I want to be a director or CEO or CMD of a company. Then he said, Arey, this is a very challenging one, and that is why nobody is telling. Okay? It was challenging because basically it is HR was a supporting function. What I am trying to tell you, friends, is today it is not supporting function. Performance management is the most dynamic and critical area, because of which the CMD has to call the HR guy. That I want to do this, I want to recruit this fellow, or I have recruited this fellow. Please tell me that how much value he is adding. Can we look for a superior value? Because I am looking for cutting edge. So now HR has a golden opportunity of becoming strategic partner, business partner. Never lose this. Okay? And of course, CSR, as I said, that also we have added. So HR has a very bright future. So that's a different area. Now we'll be, okay, I'll come to this now. So why do we need a PMS, performance management system at all? I'll very quickly take you through this. I think we are closing at what time, Prasadji? 1:30. So around 1.5 hours I will do hands-on with you by taking up the functionality, because that is the bread and butter area. Taking the functionalities and the role different managers or general managers they play, then what will be the KRA? Because this is an area you need some hands-on and you will be doing some practical thing. But before that, you should be theoretically very strong. So whatever I have talked to you now, that is being supplemented by this presentation. Nothing great about it in this. You can share it among you, and I am leaving my email ID and all that. I will be very happy to assist you in whatever you want. Like few days back, the L&T had requested me one Sunday. I stayed with him. He called me to the training center, and I was there. We finalized the KRA for all the people. Okay, sitting with him. So some help if you need, I'll do that. But first, please try to understand and do it yourself, because the basic idea is you should be able to do it. And believe me, this is such a critical area. Once you know how to do it, all your chairman, CMD, whoever he is, you will be after it. He will say, अरे ये आपको तो पता है, cities किसका कितना salary compensation में बढ़ाऊंगा, that I will discuss with him and I will find out how much value addition he has done, and compared to that only, taking that in as benchmark, I will do it. You are getting a chance to become the most powerful person in the company. The other departmental heads, they will also muskafy you every day. They will say good morning, because उनका चाबी होगी आपके हाथ में आ गया है, जो पहले नहीं था. So this is most important thing, right? So why do we need a PMS at all? We need to plan our performance. Unless you plan your performance, you cannot really reach great heights of glory. And when I say plan, the obvious implication of that is the measurement of performance. Only when you measure, then only you will plan. If you do not know at what rate you are running today, you cannot run 1 kilometer more than that tomorrow. So this is identify barriers to performance and remove them. Yeah, because the basic purpose of performance management system is to create winners, to create leaders. It is not to find fault with somebody and sack him, though, as you know, that plays a very important role also. That if somebody is getting rated unsatisfactory twice, then most of the companies, they ask them to go. Because it is believed that if you are giving chair to somebody who is an unsatisfactory performer to continue on the basis of compassion or sympathy, you are doing an injustice to other employees also. Because other employees, they would have benefited a lot if you had put a competent person in this chair. You have not done it, maybe out of fear of God, or you are not very sure of yourself. But that time, the God is cursing you. Because God, many times I have seen, so whenever I go to deliver talks, I tell them, they don't think that you have done a great job by showing sympathy to somebody. Actually, what you have done is, you have cut the throat of so many other employees. Who would have got a higher incentive if a good performer was put in this chair instead of a stupid one. So never show any sympathy. So identify barriers, but our first target is to improve people. And only when you fail twice, first time can be a fluke, second time cannot be a fluke. So don't give more than 2 chances to somebody to improve. If somebody is not improving, say bye-bye and let him go, try his luck somewhere else. Okay. So identify barriers to performance and remove them. Yes, this we will be talking about the performance counseling and all that, right? So you have to find out why somebody is not able to perform. Give all chances to improve. And when you do performance counseling, then you will know actually what is the problem. I think all of you know now in counseling what is the method. You should sandwich method is the best method. Who said it is? Acha, Supriya. So what is sandwich method? Supriya can tell.
Sandwich method is when you talk to a person, you show positive points, and then in between you say one negative point, or again a positive point, again a negative point. This way you first build confidence of the person, then slowly show him his negative aspect, and then again start building his confidence. So at the end of the session, he doesn't lose his self-confidence, but he knows that where he lacks and where he has to improve.
Very good, very good. As you do, when we make sandwich, the layers. So first you say that yes, Maulik, I know you are such an astounding personality, your achievements I saw in the personal file, you are volleyball champion in such and such year. Achha, you scored 100 out of 100 in mathematics. Great. Do you know how much I scored? I scored only 70. I have never scored more than 70. Great. You are a super. Okay. But why you do this? Why you could not do this? Such a great personality you are, such a great leader you are, but you could not do this. This is very sad. I am feeling sad for you. But I know you will improve, so nothing to worry. And then again, I find you have done so much thing. You have done so much thing. करके फिर again praise करो. You got praise, बीच में चाकू, उसके बाद फिर praise. So as he rightly pointed out, and he goes back na, his self-confidence will not be affected because you have not pitied him. You have not pitied him. You have given him a package, and the package talks about his bright points, but only a few negative points I have said, but with the hope that you will overcome and you will do it. Believe me, you will overcome and do it. So many of you, when you counsel, you just find fault. आपने ऐसे क्यों किया, ऐसे नहीं करना चाहिए था, वो नहीं करना. Do you know? You can be charge sheeted, you can be dismissed. Counseling इस तरह नहीं होता, right? So identify barriers to performance and remove them. Then identify potential and groom them. Yeah. See now another important part, though I am not here to talk about that. That possibly some other system I may come and talk. What is potential appraisal? Now the performance appraisal is only a part of the process to groom you as a leader, right? So what is potential appraisal? Somebody knows what is potential appraisal?
What he can do, to judge what he can do.
Yes.
That.
Because that is very important now. Because when we are recruiting somebody, we are trying to slot him into a role, and after that we should try to groom him, we should try to develop him in other areas, right? I tell you, like in most of the interviews I take, maybe for a chartered accountant and all that, he will be trying to talk about how good chartered accountant he is and all that. But my question always will be, what else can you do? What else can you do? And I write down there. You will say, I can do this, sir, I can do this. Do you know, sir, in my last company, the HR had left, so I was asked to look after HR. I know, sir, performance counseling kya hota hai. I know this and that, and you will tell something. And you will tell, it is almost like, sir, you find out a girl for your son. That time your son is giving you, suppose your son is very, he is not good enough in finding out a girl for himself. And he says, Papa, you find out a girl for me. You will say, Dekho, she should be a very bright scholar, she should be this, she should be doing a job, this and that, and she should be a good dancer, she should be a good singer, she should be a good painter. Okay? So these are the potentials in our personal life we try to look for in every person. Then why not in the organization? Why you typecast somebody that he can only do this? Okay? Like in my company, in the recruitment we started outsourcing. The recruitment manager comes and cries, and his wife calls me, Sir, we have taken a big housing loan. What to do? If he is thrown out, then I will commit suicide. Because I have no other option. I cannot pay such a huge housing loan. I have taken. And his wife calls, Sir, I married this guy only because he is working. And now you are throwing him out. So what I did, I said, Dekho, there is no vacancy. But I can do one thing. In one territory in Northeast, I can put you as a sales officer. Are you prepared to accept it? But believe me, if you succeed there, then your CTC will become double. But this is, I am only giving you an opportunity. Sir, मैंने तो जिंदगी भर HR पढ़ा है. मैंने बोला ठीक है, go and try. Believe me, he became such a successful salesperson. And in 6 months, he doubled his CTC. So what I am telling is that potential appraisal plays a very important role. Like in my son's marriage, everybody wanted me to dance. I have never danced in my life. But I danced so nicely. Somebody came and told in my ear, Sir, whatever you are today director to jo bhi aap ho, these are all useless, these are accidents. You are born to be a good dancer, sir. Right? So, potential, try to explore yourself in your personal life and also in the employees in the organization, which we try to do. Potential and groom them. And potential appraisal, there are mechanisms for that, but it will take a lot of time, so we will discuss some other time. Then provide clear and constructive feedback. Constructive feedback is very important. Give feedback, but the feedback should be actually given in such a manner that it does not undermine somebody's self-confidence as superior pointing out. So please give clear and constructive feedback. Identify training needs in what areas you can be good at and all that. Okay. So now this is the strategic exercise. Most of the chairmen they will do. Okay. What is this process? At the top is company's vision. I'll show it here. There is a So this is where actually all the vision starts. This is where all the vision start. Okay. Suppose your chairman has seen a vision that he wants to convert your company to be the most profitable company in the country. Maybe he is in garments. He wants to be the best garment maker in the country. This is his vision. He has seen his vision to make the company the best garments maker in the country. How will it happen? How this vision will be realized? But you know what is vision? What is vision, by the way? You call somebody visionary. When I was telling Dr. Manmohan Singh is visionary. Visionary is what? Who is a visionary? See, a person can see only up to the horizon. But the moment somebody is able to see beyond the horizon, he is a visionary. Okay? Not everybody, all of us have the ability to see beyond the horizon. As I said, and Dr. Manmohan Singh was telling that we Indians are born to rule and the whole world will be at our feet. We are laughing because we are ordinary people. We could see only up to the horizon. But he had seen, being a visionary, beyond the horizon. And that is why we are all celebrating when our growth rate is 7.75, the highest growth rate among all the countries in the world. Reason for celebration. Right? So, he had seen a vision. Now this vision document, it has to be broken into quantifiable parameters. Like to become the best garments making company, what is the standard sales? Who is the leader now? Leader is XYZ in garments. What is their standard sale? Say 100. Okay? Then what is the HR? What the HR head? You know, it is broken to him. How he will be in a position to empower the employees in the company with training, competence, जो भी है, by coaching, by mentoring, that they will be good enough garment makers. How much time, lead time he needs? Because possibly this company was earlier in leather industry. Now they are moving because CMD has seen a lot of opportunity in the environment. Being a visionary, he has seen, like as I said, Anil Premji, he was making vegetable oil in Pune and he was doing very well. But being a visionary, he saw a lot of opportunity in IT. See, vegetable oil एक side में, IT other side में. There is no commonality. But he saw a vision. Okay? And nobody could see. Right? Nobody could see. And he did it. Similarly, suppose your chairman sees a vision that in garment there is in some critical areas, then you will hire. It has to be a mix of both. So that is HR job. What is the lead time? Then finance. How to become the best garment maker? What is the funds required? What is fine chemical and how much I require and all that. Finance. Then purchase. What will be the new raw materials? Who will be the vendors? How to select the vendors? How to economize the price with them? At what rate the existing leader is buying? Can I improve on that? Right. Then operation head, who looks after manufacturing and all that. He was earlier manufacturing shoes. Now he will be manufacturing garments. So what will be the change in the job role and what sort of special ability required by him? This. So he is now quantifying areas. So what this sales fellow does, like all the HODs they will do, suppose they are VPs in different areas, then he is now splitting into, say, eastern region, western region, southern region, north. All the regional heads, he is distributing this 100 to these 4, taking into account the benchmark that he has received from the competitor. Please remember, whenever you talk of benchmark, competitor's achievement is the best achievement. Like when I address the sales people, I tell them the 2 ways you can improve sales. Number 1 is by creating customers or by poaching customers from the competitor. There is no other way. You can create customers and you can poach. But poaching being the easiest way, they always target them. Poaching is easiest way because if somebody is selling 100 and you are selling 20, then the obvious conclusion is that 100 also could have come to me if you are good enough. If you would have been able to sell, that 100 which is unfortunately gone to my competitor would have been in my kitty. Because you are useless, so that is why it has gone to him. So be useful and get back that 100, if not 100, at least 80. That is easier option. Creating new customer, as you know, is always slightly challenging. It is not difficult, as you know, in management we don't use the word difficult, we say challenging. It is challenging because the existing needs are fulfilled. You are trying to create a different need in somebody. So it is a very psychological process, and in this particular area, because of my NLP expertise, I try to train them as to how to create a need in the mind. There is no need, sir का कोई need नहीं है, but how do I create a need in him? Okay, like initially when beard started sprouting, my father gave me a shaving set and he said कि ये alarm stone ले ले. Shaving के बाद alarm stone
Yes.
that fit करिए, उसको ऐसे rub कर दो बस, antiseptic. I was using it. Suddenly in the hostel, somebody said कि अरे ये क्या फालतू तू गांव का आदमी है क्या, ये क्या ऐसा करता है, हाँ? ये ओल्ड स्पाइस देखो कैसा खुशबू है, बोला एक दिन तेरे को फ्री में दूंगा, कल से खरीदना पड़ेगा तेरे. तो आई स्टार्टेड यूजिंग, तेरे फोन अच्छा स्मेल आ रहा है, ये तो ठीक है. So what I'm trying to tell you, then after that there was no going back because already the need was created, right? I threw the alarm stone to the dustbin. So what I'm telling is that needs are created in your mind first. Actual need नहीं है. I still feel that alarm stone was the best because once I started using these chemicals, दाढ़ी सब सफेद हो गया. उसके बाद सब उसको निकलना पड़ा. Right? So there was no need, but the need was created. A need is always created in the mind. Like other day I found my wife, he has put one machine, vegetable chopping machine in one corner. I said, what is this? He said, Arey, somebody came during the midday, 2-3 girls, and I said, what is this? No, this is vegetable chopping machine. I said, I have never seen you chopping in this. ना फास्ट डे किया था, उसके बाद रख दिया. I am back to my kitchen knife. I said, why? Now, actually, the 3 girls, they came, they took 1 hour of me and delivered the lecture in such a powerful and convincing manner. I was made to believe that if I don't buy this instrument, then my entire life is going to dogs. And I am aware of the fact that this life may not come back to me again. नेक्स्ट बर्थ में कुत्ता बिल्ली चिड़िया क्या पैदा होगा मेरे को पता नहीं. तो ये बर्थ में अगर एक मौका मेरे को मिला है मशीन यूज करने का, कर लो. ओके, सो फ्रेंड्स, दिस इज हाउ ए नीड इज क्रिएटेड इन योर माइंड फर्स्ट एंड बॉडी इज ऑलवेज ए स्लेव ऑफ द माइंड. एक बार माइंड में तैयार कर लिया ना तो बॉडी इज ए स्लेव. सो बॉडी विल फॉलो, हाँ खरीद लो, ठीक है, राइट. सो दिस इज हाउ. So the finance fellow, you will be busy arranging finance, purchase, operation, machine and all that. Now this is called drilling down process. His vision is getting drilling down. Then ये जो eastern head का है, again he will put it to the district head, and district head into taluk head. Okay, target इस level में मान लो 50 या 10. And now comes the push-up effect. When this man achieves 10, this man achieves 20, this man achieves another 20, and finally target of 100 is reached by this man here in the corporate planning meeting. He says, sir, yes sir, आपका target मैंने कर दिया. Like this, if all the targets are met, you will agree with me that final push-up goes to the chairman, and he is very happy that he has been able to set up a company, garments making company, the best company in India. So this is drilling down and pushing up. In this process, the issue comes here is, what is KRA? What is KRA? What is KRA for this taluk level fellow? What is KRA for this fellow? What is KRA for this? And what is KRA for this? So all the KRAs, if they are achieved, then only it will go. The other part of performance management system, which I told you, which normally most of the companies they have, they may not be very aggressive in KRA, but slowly now everybody has to be. But otherwise that actually can make you a very good leader, because your honesty, integrity, everything is calculated there. So you can be a very good leader, but being a good leader does not make you a very high performer. Does not make you a very high. KRA is the most important part, right? So that is what, this is the drilling down process. As I said, this is functional department head, then strategic reaching goal, action plan, then KRA. Basic yardstick is my competitive and achieve this target, then I can also achieve. So that is what makes it realistic. Time bound, obviously. because the entire system is driven by time. Time is the essence of any competition, as you know. So it has to happen. So linked to agreed business actions and objectives, yes. Then must define a clear deliverable. Now this is what I was telling you, weightages. Use weightages to indicate the relative importance of each KRA. Suppose there are 3 KRAs, as I gave you the example of salesperson. Okay. That most important KRA out of the 3 is how much he is selling. There you give a higher weightage. Meaning you give 50% out of 100. Then next is collection, as I said, maybe 30%. And another 20% you can give for brand building, promotion, this and that. Ensure that the points are all assigned so that total of all weightages are equal to 100. Yeah. So drilling down process. This is the drilling down process that Maypai prepared. It is exactly saying that. So these are 3 aspects. One is business performance. This is your individual contribution, KRA. Then improvement performance, I have told you that as per the policy of the company. People performance also policy of the company. So you get your weightage there. But we are mostly concerned with the business performance KRAs today, because improvement performance and people performance, these are as per the company policy, and how you can improve on that, there may be a separate session for it. But this is what we are focused now. So performance level, this is group level, then departmental level, then locational level, individual level. I have shown in that map how it drills down to the individual level, first to the state head, then to the district head, then to the taluka head, and then finally it drills down to the individual. So this is how it has to be seen. So this will be drilled down like that. So what do we mean by drilling down of KRA? Drilling down is the process of arriving at individual KRAs by breaking down corporate goals to arrive at department goals and drilling it down further to individuals. I have explained that by that sketch also, as to how it drills down, how the drilling down takes place, and then how the push-up takes place. When you achieve the target, the field level person achieves the target, then taluka level person achieves the target, then how it slowly pushes up to the chairman level, and chairman is happy that my vision has been achieved. So, being a visionary, you will find out another vision. Right. So, in this process, and that vision will be on the basis of environment tracking, what are the opportunities lurking in the environment. Okay, because they will not always stay in the same course, because it has always been seen that they are driven by the opportunities which are lurking in the horizon. So in this process, each superior's goal is broken down to arrive at the subordinate scale. Right. So drilling down methodology. The same process which I showed you in form of sketch, it has been put up into the narrative. At the beginning of the financial year, finalize the business plan. Yeah, I said the vision of the chairman. Yes, that is what the business plan means. In the corporate planning meeting, this is decided. Then finalize the business plan at divisional level, which starts from the marketing department. And see, why it starts with marketing department is like this. In my company also, first we start with the sales and marketing department. Because how much they are able to sell, that is going to set parameters for all other departments. Because if I am able to sell 100, then the manufacturing department has to produce 100. And the purchase department has to mobilize all packing material resources for producing 100. And finance department has to mobilize funds to produce 100. So the first step is from the sales. So that is what he is saying. Develop the drilling down format for division department, develop the same format for all the HODs. That is what in the sketch you saw. Deploy the format of the division department down to the line 1, line 2 managers, to the down below. Then step 4 is finalize the individual KRAs. That is at the end. And that is what we are going to discuss. How to fix individual KRAs. So the need to ensure that individual KRAs flow from departmental goals. That also in this case I have So, okay, this is the target for the department, how much you are achieving. So, how he splits, how he quantifiable the targets he distributes among all the sales people working under him till the taluka level. Then from taluka level to the individual level. This is the drilling down. This is part of the drilling down process to ensure that the achievement of individual career results in achievement of company goals. To the push-up that I showed you. Okay. To provide ownership of carriage among individuals as well as their superiors. This is another very important thing why people will accept KRAs. Like my answer to Aarti. Yeah. So she was mentioning to me that people will not accept it in my company because they are very old people, very rigid, their mindset is rigid and all that. When you try to bring in any change in HR, all of you may be knowing that you should, first thing you should do is to bring out their stake. Because for every change the first question is, इसमें मेरे लिए क्या है? This, उसमें मेरे लिए क्या? What is there for me? If this question is rightly addressed, believe me, all change management is simple. If you are trying to do something which is not related to the person concerned, obviously he is not going to be involved in the process. But the moment that's why I suggested to her, don't hive up 20% or 15% as KRA, variable salary. But your future increments you put into that till you reach 15%. Then there will be less opposition. And when they know that this is in my control, most important thing is that the moment you convince them that this is in your control, आप दौड़ोगे तो आपको मिलेगा, नहीं दौड़ोगे तो नहीं मिलेगा. ठीक है? So once you put this stake in that and then you make them understand that this is in your control, there will be no opposition. Because they will know that it gives them a chance to discover their potential, which may be very, very helpful in their personal life. Many people, they feel very happy. Sir, this KRA has made us very dynamic. In our family, our wife, children, they are very happy. I was not running like this for achieving things. Now I am doing it. So there are a lot of things, if you bring this stake, then the acceptance will be high. Okay, so you have to make them understand that once you achieve KRAs, the company, your involvement with the company's strategic decision making process, the business process is very high. Somebody feels that I am so important. Never they feel. At the lower level, they never feel that they are so important. They say they take their salary for granted and I am doing it. But this makes them feel that I am a part of the strategic process. मैं अगर नहीं करूंगा तो कंपनी रुक जाएगा. Okay? घर में they can convince their family members, they मेरे को थोड़ा sacrifice करने दो. I'll do little bit of sacrifice and allow me to work for this company. My company needs me today. And once this is there, then you will find that most of the problem is solved. To provide ownership of KRA among individuals as well as their superiors, they said, the ownership of a job was never that high earlier before KRA concept came. They said they were taking their job for granted. ठीक है, आज नहीं है तो today you got to do, tomorrow I do. It is not so. Okay, to show individuals how important their roles are in the company by showing them the correlation between company goals and its individual goals. Because you straight cut, as I showed you, this sketch. Through that sketch, you can show it to anybody in your family, your wife, your children, your husband. आप दिखा दोगे. देखो, I am here. If I do not contribute here, the entire goal of my chairman falls flat. So I will have to do it, and you will have to cooperate with me. Okay, see, this is how stake. You have to build the stake and then make them. Yeah. So this is the drilling down process. Another sketch is here. So this is functional KRA, this is improvement KRA, this is people KRA. See, here Shapali, just you see, in functional KRA, up to tier 4, the individual targets are there, but here, two states, improvement KRA, as I gave you the example of that person who decided that instead of issuing checks, we will just credit their bank account, whatever is the TA and DA as per the policy. So here one is result, the other one is process. And you have to reward somebody as per your company policy for the process also. That the change in process, how much benefit it has given to my company. If this was not there, then what was the cost, and now how the cost has come down. Similarly, in people care, I also gave you the example. If I have groomed five performers under me, all of whom have got A+ rating or extraordinary rating, I should be rewarded. Because a leader is not a true leader who cannot create a string of leaders. A leader's basic definition is he should be able to create a string of leaders under him. That is how the continuity will be there in the management. If I cannot create leaders, then I am not a leader myself. So for that also there has to be reward. So now you see, functional KRAs are KRAs in the areas of operation like marketing, sales, HR, account. We'll do the hands-on that time. You will see in all these areas I will pick up one by one, and you will see how the KRA can be fixed. We'll see the examples of functional KRAs later. Yeah. What are improvement KRAs? So pertain to the steps you plan to take in order to improve the profit or the systems of the company. Yes. Your system, your improvement in the system has to result in profit of the company. Then only your change of system it helps. If it is not doing that, then changing the system, I will say, why should I change? If it is not having any dividend in it. So these are process-driven KRAs which concentrate on profit improvement plan and system improvement plan, and this is NIP. NIP is new wage of profit. Yeah, NIP, new wage of profit. So these are the three areas in which actually your mostly we talk about the efforts, not always with results. So improvement KRAs can be PIP, profit improvement plan. Okay. So these are the indicators. So how do you implement profit improvement plan? The resulting cost reduction effort, that is one. Then quality improvement initiatives, because most of the time, we believe that if I improve quality, then it will be very costly. We will be spending a lot of money. But if a quality improvement does not create new customers or create more customers, then possibly the basic definition of quality is lost. Because quality's basic idea is to make it more popular among the customers and create more value for the company and more profit. So these are the result indicators. Directly you can do by cost reduction, otherwise by improving quality. So process indicators, SGA. SGA, small group approach. So through small group approach, anybody any idea what is small group approach? You may be practicing. Yeah, quality circle is a very good example of SGA. Okay, so the quality issues are referred to the SGA, and then they come out with different solutions. Then all the solutions are architectured on the basis of the value they create for the organization, and the best one is selected and implemented. So Kaizen, you know, na? What is Kaizen? This Japanese Z-A-N, it will be Z-E-N.
Small gradual
Small step forward.
Small step forward. You said something.
Small gradual improvements over a period of time accumulating to a large impact.
The most important definition of Kaizen is it has to be a continuous development process. Small, yes, as he said, small. But it's not that today there will be development and then we will sit on that. No. It has to be a continuous process. That is why in our factories we have put a board for our workers. In Kaizen, we say Lagatar Sudhar. Okay, Lagatar Sudhar. I think you understand Hindi, Mr. Good name, please?
Yasir.
Yasir. Acha. So, do you understand Hindi?
Yes.
No. Acha, okay. Then you know. So, Lagatar Sudhar, because our workers will not understand English, all of them. So, we have actually put it in vernacular. We have said Lagatar Sudhar means continuous process. Number one is continuous, and number two is small steps forward. Right? So, that is what Kaizen. Then housekeeping, you know. Okay? Housekeeping is what? Process indicators?
5 is.
Huh?
5 is.
Then, when you say this company's housekeeping is good, what do you mean by that?
Everything is in place.
Everything is in
where
place.
it should be.
Cutting down unwanted things.
Sorry?
Cutting down in the process unwanted things which is not required.
Yes.
Really, it is everything in place. A place for everything and everything is place. That's the difference.
Right, you're right. So, then SIP, System Improvement Plan, I gave you this example of Potato Chips Company, how system improvement takes place through value engineering process. Okay. Then NIP, New Initiatives Plan. New Initiatives Plan is what Shefali was mentioning, that what is the role of creativity, what is the role of innovation and creativity. Okay. So, for every innovation and creativity, see, how do you encourage your employees to be innovative? You have in your company, Shefali, you have any
Yeah,
scheme?
so we try to get them. So we follow a balanced scorecard in the company,
Oh.
and one part of it is innovation. We give a weightage to innovation as well. So we tell employees to think differently. We ask them to change processes in a different way, and that thought process is given across all functions. So at least one thing can be changed in a different way, thought differently.
Yeah, good. But I will suggest you one thing. The moment a new recruit joins, which we have found to be very effective, you can implement it if you like. If a new recruit joins, I give them one area, I tell the HR head to put one area to him and say that this is a process flow in this department. You give me tomorrow what can be a better process flow than this. Tomorrow. The reason is that boy by 2-3 days will get conditioned to my system and he will say this is the best system under the sun. So first day itself she will find, okay, why these fellows are doing like this? It could have been done this way straight. But next day he will get used to it and he will not get a very original solution. So that is why you try it first day itself, make it part of their induction process. That they will visit each and every department, not every department, one department you allocate to one new recruit, that you prepare a process flow, how it is happening here, and what are the changes you think we should bring about. Then you evaluate by putting into mechanism, how much cost, this and that, all these things. But believe me, a lot of new things will come. Okay. But this is number one. Number two is allow people to make mistakes. Once you are tolerant to employees making mistakes, they will be more creative and innovative. But if you are not tolerant, then they will go for status quo. Then why change? There is a risk in it. So why should I change? So allow them that yes, you experimented. If there is a mistake, fine. No issue. And you will find that many of these things which you think or they think it is a mistake, it is not a mistake actually. That is an element of creativity. Believe me, all the elements of creativity and innovation, they are in a separate dimension, mistakes only. Because you are trying to stray from the accepted route. Right. So new initiative plan, it has to be a part of the company's process. So people care, this care is pertinent to what you plan to do, in order to develop your subordinates or internal customers and external customers. If any, the focus here is on people and their development. In case of this care, the end results are difficult to gauge, hence efforts can be measured instead of results. So there has to be a weightage on efforts where you know very well that the result cannot be measured. So like how many people you have developed, there I tell you that it can be still measured, that how many people have got A rating. It can be still measured, but not always. So there the effort becomes important. Yeah, some of the example of the can be improve employee involvement and participation by motivating them through Kaizen, then housekeeping, small group activity culture, etc. Allowing subordinates to participate in the decision making process. Okay. So train and develop subordinates by helping They have to learn from mistakes, thus contributing to the learning process. How do you allow subordinates to participate in the decision making process? What are the policies you follow? What is the best policy? You were telling something? How do you
Allow them to brainstorm.
brainstorm? What
Involving them in terms of
Hmm?
making processes, so that they can get used to the processes and they can come out with innovative ideas also.
Making them accountable to the activity.
Okay. Another one you can try, which I have tried quite successfully, that is, if there is a decision to be taken, whether this is right and wrong, okay, that time don't ask for suggestion, because the moment you ask for suggestion, all of them, they want to humor you up to get good rating. So whatever decision you have taken, they will say, sir, this is the perfect decision. So what you do is, you tell in the beginning that the next 30 minutes I want 3 suggestions from all of you criticizing this proposition. Then next 30 minutes you tell them that I want 3 suggestions from you supporting this proposition. So you set the rule that you will have to criticize this proposition on valid grounds. Okay? Then at the end of it you will find there are 30 suggestions coming criticizing it and another 20 supporting it. And by the time you have known which is right, which is wrong. And everybody feels involved because they think कि देखो इसको करने के लिए मेरे को पूछा गया है and I have given this suggestion and this suggestion has been accepted. Otherwise, if you say मैं ये करना चाहता हूँ बताओ तो सही है गलत है, I can give you in writing. Everybody will say, sir, आप सबसे ज्ञानी हैं, आपने जो किया एकदम सही है, and you are not left wiser because of that. So train and develop subordinates to learn from mistakes and thus contributing to the learning process. Inspire, recognize significant contributions by giving appreciation letters, memotage and appraisals. Yes, these are in part of the people care. Yes. So drilling down thus helps to envisage desired results and organize a job keeping the end in mind. Yes. Right. It helps in successful accomplishment of individual careers with a greater satisfaction of achieving the organizational goals too. Now we have come to the end. So these are model careers. I don't want to make it theoretical. So now I'll take a model which model has been very effective so that you actually learn. Now I'll call one of you, I'll rotate it to write the job description and then I'll call another group to write the KRA. Okay? So let us start. Now, this group, Shefali, your group, will write here the job description of a purchase manager. Okay? Now this group, Ramesh. This group, Ramesh group, they will write on the right side the carriage for a purchase manager. So where you are going wrong, I'll point out and we'll explain so that we'll learn out of it. Right? So, Shefali, should we start? Come. रोशन जी और थोड़ा पेपर लगेगा. Yeah. Then I will pick up another 2 groups because so that it will be. See, we are now. So without these hands-on traits, you will not learn. I have tried out so many methods because this is not the first time. I am doing maybe 20 or 25 in different industries. Everywhere I have seen that initially I was very theoretical. Then I found that they have not learned. Again they will confuse like she was doing कि मेरा ये तो काम जो है induction formalities करना ये भी तो KRA है. Okay. So it is how the difference will come. I see. See here it is job description and this is KRA. And KRA will be max 3. Job description can be many. So write. Okay, you will. So you can also see, suppose some job description point he has missed, please raise it, because everybody is participating in this. You write and you read it out.
On time. On time. Lowest cost.
We'll do for 4-5 functionalities, then you will see that you have gained a lot of self-confidence on this. So you read out.
To procure identified items within the stipulated time allotted.
This is job description of a purchase manager. Right.
Can you please read it again?
To procure identified items within the stipulated time allotted.
Increase the vendor coverage. Vendor coverage.
Reduce the cost economically.
Vendor coverage.
Friends, in the beginning when I said that this is a great opportunity coming for HR to be expert in KRA, there one important clause I missed, that was that you have to be an expert about the process of each department. Gone are the days that you will be sitting in one corner and you will be doing only leave, this and that, salary वगैरह. No. With KRA coming into existence, you have to be thorough about the process of purchase department, you have to be thorough about the process of maintenance department, you have to be thorough about the process of operation department. Because KRA, when it is fixed now, at senior level, I gave the example, suppose we are at junior level, both of us will finalize. But at senior level, always HR will be there. HR will be present. And HR has to play the role of the referee. Suppose somebody does not agree to a particular KRA, and the appraiser says, no, this has to be KRA. HR has to play the role. नहीं sir, इसको KRA, ये KRA में आएगा. But that you can do only if you have understood the process of the department. Otherwise, you will get misguided by either the appraiser or by the appraisee, and your role and function will be just nothing. So try to understand the process flow of each and every department in whatever company you are working, and then you will become confident to say, नहीं ये KRA होगा, ये नहीं होगा. Right? हाँ. Because no, KRA, I have asked somebody to pull.
So you just mentioned 4 years?
No, just you see the job description, does it cover everything? Achha, before we complete job description, what a purchase department does in a manufactury or even any company. What is the job of a purchase department? Anybody who can say? Procure raw materials.
As the needs of the customer, and
Vendor development.
It should be just in time and first time right material.
So in a manufacturing industry, what happens? Suppose you are in a factory. Okay. Okay. Now the purchase department is given an indent by the production department. The production department gives an indent for the raw material. Okay. Suppose you are producing, say, something which requires chemicals. So you will say that I need sulfuric acid this much, I'll need this much, I'll need this much of ice, I'll need this much of this, I need, and all. And these should reach the production department on time. Right? There is a cycle time within which it has to reach. Now the moment the indent comes from production department to purchase department, production department's job is over. Now purchase department, how it activates this process? They will first find out for each and every item who are the standard vendors. How the vendors are selected? Vendor selection, how is it done? Say you want to source sulfuric acid. How do you find out who is supplying sulfuric acid if you are in purchase department? Either you take the help of internet, or if you have good relation with your competitor, then you ask them कि तुम लोग भाई किधर से लेते हो? Who are the vendors? They will tell you. These are the vendors and these are the rates and all that. Or you go to internet and find out that these are the vendors, right? And once you get the list, then you call for their bank statement and all other details. What are the companies where they have worked and all that. Suppose 20 response you are getting, you require a short list of 10. Say 10 you know, or 12, whatever. You be satisfied that yes, these are the good companies, they are suppliers, and this is the lead time, they have never flawed, and the quality has been always good. Okay? And then these 10. Then you are asking them, you are telling them that we want to buy say 100 kg of sulfuric acid. So please send your samples. So somebody will send the samples, and the samples you get it tested by the chemist in the production department. And out of 12 he finds that the quality is good only in respect of 7. So finally these 7 are shortlisted. And then you ask for competitive quotes from them. How do you take competitive quotes?
Past tenders. Tenders and all that.
No. When I say competitive, how will you know it is competitive? See, that is why I say that HR people must understand the process of each department. It is a hard work. Believe me, in my 18 factories, I have worked like a laborer from department below to learn, because nobody will else teach me, na? They will say, "ये तो बहुत बड़ा आदमी, उसको क्या training देना है?" Unless you replace I used to replace a labor and fit in there, and that is how I used to learn. HR head. Only if you want to play the strategic role as CEO, director, you have to understand everything. You cannot be superficial. So what I am telling you is that competitive quotation किसको कहते हैं? Competitive quotation means, and many of the companies, they make mistake of calling quotations by email. And that is how the problem starts. In my company, I am the director of vigilance also. I get how many complaints from purchase department. That's why I wanted to discuss purchase fast. Because the moment you are taking, say, for this sulfuric acid competitive quote, ठीक है. You are sending me email. I am the purchase manager. You are sending me email. Out of these 10, I know him. And I have a deal with him कि मेरे को तुम order दोगे तो 25% तुमको दे दूंगा मैं. So what I'll do? I'll say कि till today जितना quotation मेरे पास email में आया है, the lowest is 9 rupees per liter. Just example, I do not know the exact price. 9. तुम एक काम करो भाई, तुम 8 रुपया 40 पैसा quote करो. You quote 8 rupees 40 paisa now and send me a mail, so that you will be the lowest, and I will give it to you. And you are giving me 20% cut out of that. I am happy, you are happy. And the vigilance director is also happy because I have followed all the system. I have gone to the lowest L1 party. But it is wrong. So you have to ask for sealed quotation. And the sealed quotation will be opened by a committee who will open and sign there that we have received all the envelopes in sealed condition. and you open, then only you will find out who is the L1. So the best competitor, उसको आपने order दिया, order देने के बाद when he starts supplying to you, then again you call the same person who had evaluated the sample, and he has to certify from production department that the supply conforms with the sample. Then only the final order will be placed by giving a time frame within which it has to be delivered. This is in brief is the entire process of purchase department. Okay. So here he has indicated most of these points. I'll request your team now, please come and write the KRA out of it. Because he is doing, he is the purchase manager. Sorry, your good name please?
Hemal.
Hemal, I'm sorry. Hemal is doing a very good job. He has done it. Now I will have to fix his KRA to give him 20% variable salary. मैं कैसे दूंगा? ये काम तो सब ठीक ही कर रहा है. How do I give? Should I release all 20% to him? Or I will not release at all? Or I will release 50% because I like his face? अभी कैसे करेंगे? आप KRA बनाइए. No, I am asking any of you to come.
बोला आम्ही फोन करतो थोडा ना कॉन्फरन्स मध्ये आहे मी फोन करतो तुम्हाला. हॅलो
There has to be certain lead time.
Lead time for what?
For every material that we have to produce. Then cycle time.